and welcome to Enterprise Morning on Enterprise TV. I am Kende Bodun.
And I am Henry Igwebike.
Now, starting up with our newspaper, and right after that, we will be on our main conversation for today. You can reach us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV, and you can also follow us on our social media platforms at Enterprise TV 7. Joining us virtually is Barrister Tunji Abdul Hamid. He is a barrister and a public affairs analyst. You're welcome, sir.
Good morning, Barrister.
Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure to be with you.
Thank you. Thank you so very much for your time always. And Kennedy, I think we'll have to start with the first daily. What do we have?
Okay, for Daily Trust, we have National Assembly bars Natasha from resuming plenary.
Okay, and still from the Daily Trust newspaper, flood. Act now. Northern elders tell federal government.
We also have representatives ask U.S. to restore 5-year visa policy for Nigerians.
Wow. All right, we have how Ajibade Alozie fired Nigeria into WAFCON finals.
Okay, still on Daily Trust, we have lawmakers indict 31 MDAs, ask EFCC to recover 103 billion naira and $950,000.
All right, we equally have why Tinubu is yet to appoint ambassadors. You can actually check that on page 45 of the Daily Trust newspaper. But Barrister, let's look at other businesses. Lawmakers indict 31 MDAs asked EFCC to recover 103 billion and 950,000 US dollars. Barrister, do you think the EFCC has got what it takes to recover all of these things, knowing that we all know what the EFCC is about?
Yeah, they have all to recover it. They have all the facility. They have all the personnel. They have the wherewithal. But whether or not the political will be there to do it, it's another thing. They have. We're talking about whether they have it or they have the capacity. They have it. Then whether the capacity will be put in use is another question. Bearing in mind what I've been saying before, particularly when it has to do with people with political exposed persons. You remember the case of the current Senate president or the president of the Senate, of your Martinero.
Yep.
To date, we have not had anything. So for me, the National Assembly has done their part by exposing corruption. It is now for the executive to follow up by using the instrument of the institution, that like EFCC or other agencies, to recover whatever that has been exposed here by doing well, to even prosecute or ensure that they serve as deterrent to other people. So the National Assembly should be commended for exposing that, and EFCC or whoever that is in charge, the ball is now in their court to ensure that proper things are done, to ensure that the full recovery is made. There is a difference between explosion of corruption and the recovery of that corrupt money. So what is left now is that it's for them to investigate it and see whether or not proper investigation, proper exposure have been made by the National Assembly. By the National Assembly, for them to be able to act in that regard. That's my position.
All right, Barrister. Kennedy, do you have any questions?
Yes. He said something. It's left for them to do, to expose them, right?
Yeah.
So I want to go into. I would like to ask you this question, sir. How often are financial audits? Because I believe they should have this body there. So how often are financial audits of MDAs or MDAs, conducted in Nigeria? How often is this body conducted in Nigeria?
How often is it conducted? How often it should be conducted? Which one is it? I need to hear you more.
Okay, how often they should be conducted? How often they should be conducted?
It should be regular. It should be regular. And you see, the National Assembly has a work. We have auditors everywhere. I'm very sure every ministry or every MD, every department have their own auditor. The unfortunately in Nigeria, that is not in place. We don't. It's only in place that they're only taking salary. they are not doing their job properly. The National Assembly, what has been exposed now is just a way of a National Assembly doing their own oversight function of the House of Rep. That's what they are doing. That's how that came involved. I expect that the internal audit of even the MDA should expose almost of this corruption, because they are in court or they are in collaboration with those who are committing it. You will hear nothing. And unfortunately, when a country where people are not punished for their crime, or where crime of this nature are usually swept under the carpet.
All right, very well, true. Let's move on to the Punch newspaper for today. We have the big story. APC may pick Ganduje's successor at make or break neck meeting.
Funny.
Yes, what else do we have there?
Okay, we also have Dangote exports 1.3 billion liters petrol as marketers buy foreign fuel.
And also we have Atiku warns as Okwebolo, Wike insists on Obi's visit clearance. Barrister, let's look at that particular matter. This is your area. I'd love to believe you can clarify us more on what the Constitution says about the freedom of movement, because Nigerians are still struggling to understand why a sitting governor will ask a fellow citizen to seek clearance before he comes into his state, like every other traveler who goes through Edo State would have to call him. The question is, does Okwebolo need to maybe place his phone number somewhere so every Nigerian can call him? Don't you think all of these things are becoming funny and ridiculous to us?
Yeah, it's funny, it's unfortunate. Unfortunately, you are not politically exposed for you to be able to call a public to pick your call. To tell him that you are coming to his state.
Exactly.
It shows the mentality and the thinking of our leaders. They see themselves as being in government to protect only the people who are politically exposed. As a governor, you have a responsibility to provide security in your state. Whether that person is a former presidential candidate or a former governor or whatever, everybody should be protected. So there is no need for anybody who wants to call you to say, I want to come to your state. If he has the privilege, he can call you, and that is his own discretion. It cannot be a policy or law to say, as a former presidential candidate or as a former leader of a state or as a former governor, you must put a call to me before you come to my state, because if anything happens, I can't guarantee your security. The governor is saying that, look, I am not in charge of my state. I cannot control my state. It's confirming to us that his state is not safe. That's what he's saying. And that he does not understand the import of that statement. That can even send away foreign direct investors.
Very
so
well.
look, if the governor is saying people are not, he cannot guarantee safety of people who did not call him, we may not be able to invest in this area, because this is clearly showing that there's no. Unfortunately, we are in a country where those in government see themselves as above the law. They just speak, and you can see his response. He said there's not a care as to the condemnation people are saying, that he stand by his words. I don't understand that. I don't know why when our country have said that, look, you must seek permission for you to move from one country or one state to another. In other words, people are saying that for Peter Obi to come to Edo, he must collect visa from the governor before coming. If you want to inform the governor, this is right, because I saw yesterday where Minister Nyesom Wike trying to justify what the governor said and comparing it to what happened in his state while he was the governor, saying that Obi called him and informed him when he was coming to his state. Those scenarios are not the same. At that time, Mr. Peter Obi wanted to come and campaign, and to solicit for the support as a support of Mr. Nyesom Wike. Will he not call him to say, look, I'm coming to you, to visit your state in this regard? They are not the same thing. They are not the same thing at all. That comparison are not related at all. That one's a political consultation. And if you are consulting me or if you are trying to meet me and discuss with me, will you not inform me ahead? And that was why Mr. Peter Obi informed him. So for him telling us that Mr. Peter Obi, when he was coming to his state, it's Governor Wike telling us that everybody has coming to Abuja this morning. Before the people expose people in Abuja reporting before coming to Abuja. Or is Mr. Governor of Edo State telling us that all the politically exposed people that have come to Edo State this morning, or that's entered Edo State this morning, they've called him to pre-inform him that they are coming. It's political statement as far as I'm concerned. There is a witch hunt of Mr. Peter Obi, and it's not good for our system. They just want to reroll everybody into their own camp You remember when before his election, you remember the role played by the police trying to chase all the leading opposition members in the name of their investigating crime.
Yeah.
Immediately after the election, did you hear the police continue with that investigation? That is to tell you that investigation, that purported investigation at that time was because of the political witch hunt. And for me, the governor did not do well, and there's no justification for what they are saying. Or there's no law which allows that to happen. There's no law. There's no law. And if he's trying to do it, it's acting contrary to the provision of the Constitution. Mr. Peter Beach is free to move from any part of the country to anywhere. And he's free or to also inform anybody that I'm coming to your state. He need not inform anybody before coming to any state.
It's actually very funny, Barrister, because of one would wonder. A couple of days back, Barrister, the PDP gubernatorial candidate in Anambra State was shot on the leg, and one would ask in the FCT. One would now ask, does that mean that possibly he didn't take a clearance from FCT minister to be protected? That was why he was shot. And so many other things. But I would love you to speak to the sudden mannerism of Okpebholo, who is behaving more like Nyesom Wike. If you watched his address when he was launching the transit vehicles for his state, he was dancing and singing just like Nyesom Wike, while Nyesom Wike sat there and was watching. What do you make of this sort of politics that is beginning to take popularity amongst the politicians in Nigeria?
He's beginning to show that he's also, even though he's gentle, he does not speak all the time. He looks like somebody who cannot even bring two sentences together correctly. He's trying to show that, look, notwithstanding, I am an action man. And that's what he's trying to show. And he's trying to copy that style. And in Nigeria, we love that style. We love a political leader who can use a tight hand, or who can be so rude or how do I say, uncultured. We love them. We see them as they know how to play politics. That's what we say in Nigeria. And for me, buying buses and trying to and doing celebrating as if that has not happened before in our country, for me, it's just a low. I'm aware they have a low transport before now.
Yes.
They have gone there under demand. Yes. So it's not a new thing and not something that we should be celebrating. It's a normal thing in other part of the country that nobody will even know that anything has happened. But in our own country, a governor will dig a borehole, not with his own personal money, and people will start celebrating. You can see the governor saying that they will support President Bola Ahmed Tinubu because he's been the one giving them money.
Money, yeah.
To do what they are doing. As if the money is coming from the pocket of the president. As if he's not entitled to, as if those allocations are being given to him and not their entitlements in their state, as if those money did not come from taxpayers' money.
Exactly.
So he was talking as if the president just dip hand in his pocket and give them money to do whatever they want to do. Psychophancy is why you see them do all those things that they're doing. They just want to. That's why you can see a governor in a state who is a member of a particular party openly saying that he wants to campaign for the support the president. That is the Osun state. After all the push to join APC was reported or refused, he now said, okay, I'm staying back in the PDP, but I'll be supporting the Mr. President. Psychophancy is just because he believes that when they are doing that, they believe in Nigeria today. For you to be able to win the election, you must be in agreement with the president. Otherwise, they see themselves in trouble. That's why they are doing all those things they are doing. And that's why you see some of the governors saying they are leaving their party to another party so that they'll be able to pursue their political career. They are saying that is the impression they are giving us. The impression is that if you don't support the president, there is no way you can win the election. And that's what they are doing. That's why a governor who claim to have a support of his people, talking about supporting another candidate of another party. It's unfortunate that we have this kind of leader people in our midst. The Osun State government and just some of these governors, Edo State governor, the Osun State governor, some of them, they are just accidental leaders. If you know the way and manner some of these people came into office, you realize that they did not even expect it. They would just find themselves there, and they were just behaving as if when you are when you don't have how do I put it? I don't know how to interpret it in English. That's why I don't want to say it in Yoruba.
Okay.
So if you are somebody that has been poor all his while and he was just able to get something to enjoy, you know the way he behaved. That was it. So for me, some of these people don't have a leadership culture. They were not well trained or prepared for this job. They were just there because of our system.
Very sad, barrister. Of course, what you talked about equally made headlines on the Punch newspaper. ADC balls over Tinubu's endorsement by Adeleke and Onyilola. And you equally have said it very clear. It's psychophancy. One would ask ourselves if really what we're practicing right now is democracy. Exactly. We do not know. Yinka, what do you think, Kennedy, sorry, what else do we have going on here?
For the other stories still on Punch, we have, let's talk about Natasha.
Natasha, I think we'll be doing that on our main conversation.
Okay.
But let's go through other matters here. Barrister, on the very top strip here, Senate okays Tinubu's $21 billion of foreign loans. At a time when our loans right now is standing at 144 trillion naira, barrister. Tinubu inherited 88 trillion, and in less than 2 years, he had that balloon to 144 trillion. Right now, it's another $21 billion. Barrister, can we get off of this trap set by our politicians against us?
It's unfortunate that we have leaders who don't think outside the box. This government of APC met 11 trillion debts, for you to know, because I don't distribute between Buhari and this current administration. Because this current administration told us they will continue from where the former administration stopped. So which is a continuous government. So by the time they came into office in 2015 or so, our debt is like 11 trillion, and you imagine what we have today, and imagine what is on grant, because some people will come and tell us they are doing they are investing in infrastructure. They will tell you and if you ask them what are this infrastructure, they will only tell you Lagos-Ibadan road and tell you Second Niger Bridge, and that's all. I'll tell you one little railway line, and you now ask them, okay, what is the cost of this project you have mentioned, and look first at what the debt we have incurred. They will not be able to tell you and say we are still working. It's a work in progress. So for me, there is nothing bad in borrowing. There is nothing bad in borrowing. But what is bad in our own is that when the money is borrowed for a particular purpose, the money is used for a different purpose. And at the end of the day, most time this money find themselves to part of some of our leaders, and nobody will be questioned. I'm not surprised that it's been approved by the National Assembly. It's normal. They have said it that whatever the president brings, they approve, because they've said it on his mandate. They stand. So whatever, even if his mandate is contrary to the Nigerians' mandate, they don't care about Nigerians. The president is the overall, and that's why in our country we see the president as most knowing. Whatever position the president brings, they don't want you can't oppose it. When you oppose it, they see you as enemy, or you don't know what you are doing. So for me, unfortunate that we have the National Assembly. We are having all these problems we are having in this country today because we don't have the National Assembly that will protect us. Because whether we like it or not, members of the National Assembly are Nigerians. When I say Nigerians here, that they are our representatives. They are supposed to be speaking on our behalf. They are supposed to be challenging the government and asking questions from the government. They are the one collaborating and romancing with the president in the name of we are cooperating together. We are not saying you should fight. Asking questions on issue of governance does not mean you hate the president. Does not mean you are opposed to the president. You are the government president wants to borrow money. You must ask him to bring you the details of the loan, how it will be used, how it will be paid back. So it is when you have those details that you can approve. But what do we see in this situation now? We have a situation whereby a letter will just be written, one-page letter, without any attachments, and then they will be approved. And that was what the former Senate president, Dr. Bukola Saraki, was doing during his time, when Nigeria seemed as an obstacle to the president. And that's why I say sometimes Nigerians sue when you are even defending them, they take you as enemy. That time he was asking the right question. The former president then, the late president now, Muhammadu Buhari, will send a letter to borrow money, and he will return it back and say, we need details of this loan, and then they will blackmail him and say it's holding the government to ransom. He's not making the government to move. They want to do projects. He's not approving anything. This and that. And today now we have the National Assembly who approve it, even before the letter is brought to them. They've already approved it. And we are still complaining. So we have to choose now whether we want to go by the people that will be doing the writing, or we want to go by people that will just align with the president and do whatever the president wants. I think we are where we are because the National Assembly is not protecting us. It's not doing their job the way it should be done, and that's unfortunate for us.
Barrister, let's take a look at the Guardian newspaper just before we go. We have less than 90 seconds, I guess, to do that. Suspense as Tinubu APC NEC meet over zoning new chairman. There's a rumor going all around town, though we need to still substantiate it, that Ganduje is not feeling too well. He is currently somewhere in UK, taking care of himself, medical tourism. That the leader themselves said it's not good. They are the ones patronizing it. But the question now is, APC, do you think that finally they might zone the chairman to the North Central, because that is where it is supposed to have been? But Ganduje actually took that and made it his own for as long as we thought.
Ganduje did not take it. It was given to him. It was given to him by the president. And you don't being APC being a party where one man dictates and directs what happened. They want to accept it. And when you read a part of the report that says APC in make or mark meeting, I laugh. I said, which make or mark? They all go by the mandate of the president. Whatever the president tends to do is what they will go. There is no debate about it. It's about the decision of the president, and that's why you see the seemingly graveyard silence in APC, because they have the president, and everybody want to align with the president. If they don't have the president today, yes, that meeting can be made or made. But as it is today, I'm telling you, it will be a very simple meeting. The president will just direct, and that will be all. They will say it's been adopted, or somebody will come and raise a position in line with what the interest of the president, and everybody will accept it, and that will be all. So, and they will tell you, we are able to do that because we have a leader that we respect, and the president is our leader. So whatever the president wants, we must go by it. That's the kind of party that we have, and that's why you see, you don't hear about BOT in APC. You don't talk about the role of any organs of the government apart from the chairman, secretary, and the secretary in APC. If I have to name the other member of the NWC of APC, you won't be able to, aside from those three that are common, because they are working based on their own position. They are working based on the directives from the president. That's why you see whenever statement is issued, what they will tell you is that we have been directed. If you remember, let me remind you, when Mr. Ganduje was set to have resigned on Earth Grant, and now we are told abroad, probably the Earth situation is now coming to reality. You will see that the statement released by what's it called, my friend Moka, Mr. Moka,
Felix Moka.
Felix Moka. We will see that in paragraph 3 or 4, I can't remember, what he said was that they have been directed by the president that Mr. So president should take over as the new acting chairman. He didn't say the NWC has taken decision, or the BOT has sat and discussed, or in line with our constitution. It wasn't like that. It was directive of the president. So the APC operates based on directive of the president. So for me, in line with that thinking in my head, I did not see any make or may, what's it called? A make or may, what's it called? Meeting. Yeah, it's going to be an EC meeting. A meeting where everybody will agree with whatever that is put on board in place with them. Where there will be few one or two people that will just murmur, and then thereafter they will just keep quiet.
Very bad. Kehinde, do you have any questions for Barrister on this particular matter before we go today?
Okay, I think he has said it all.
He has said it all. Yeah. Barrister, if you look at the Fourth Assembly, from Olusegun Obasanjo to Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who do you think is the most influential president towards his party at this point? Because it's like Bola Ahmed Tinubu is taking the reign right now, because everybody standing on the mandate. We never witnessed this before.
Have you forgotten that Mr. President is the only president that has come on board with a toga of political strategist? So he's exhibiting his skill in this regard, and that's why everybody is eroding into it. He's playing the politics the way, from day one. The president started playing politics. In fact, during the campaign, he started the politics of 2027. I remember when he was in Enugu or so campaigning for him to be elected. He said, "If I don't give you light, don't vote for me in 2027 when I come to you." So to tell you that the president is already planning, even before his election, to go for 2027, and that's why from day one the president has put that machinery in place to ensure that whatever is making appointments, whatever is taking steps or decisions, that consideration is put into it. And that's why it's called political strategies. That's what we celebrate in our country. We celebrate political leaders who know how to maneuver. We celebrate political leaders who can force everybody to align with their interests. And that's what we call and that's what we celebrate.
It's actually sad.
This is Nigeria anyway.
When Okpebolo was addressing the press people, seated close to him was the APC chairman, Mr. Emperor Jarrett. That's what they call him. So while Okpebolo was dancing to the song they were singing, he was making the sign like he was holding onto a firearm. He was holding onto the broom, but making it look like he was holding a firearm.
That's a message.
You understand? And one would wonder what kind of political activist the APC is brewing. This is really surprising that we're seeing this in our generation today, where people who should be making laws and leading,
dancing around
and using the broom to make
they're back in a political leader dancing. They can dance. They're also human beings. But the only gesture you mentioned is the one I think may be bad.
Yes, very bad.
I don't think celebrating their life, their enjoyment. They are enjoying. They don't feel what they are feeling. So they can celebrate every day. They are happy every day. So they are not feeling your hardship. So they can be dancing the way they like, and they don't care about you. If they care about you, they'll be sober and do it in moderation. But because they don't care, they are getting what they are looking for. They are happy.
Very sad.
Really
well, we have to leave it at this particular point. And just to let you know, Barrister will be here to take us on our main conversation. That is when we return. Senator Natasha blocked from Senate despite court ruling. It's still Enterprise Morning. Please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Very much for joining us. This is still Enterprise Morning, reaching you from Enterprise Television. Let's head straight to our main conversation for today. Suspended Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan was on Tuesday prevented from entering the Senate chambers, sparking a confrontation with security operatives at the National Assembly.
Accompanied by supporters and activists, including Aisha Yesufu, she attempted to resume duties following a court ruling criticizing our suspension as excessive. However, security agents blocked access, citing orders from above and leading to locked gates and stranded staff.
And also we have that the Senate insists her suspension stands, arguing that no court order mandates her recall. A spokesman, Yemi, said the court only advised a review without issuing a directive. He also noted the senator was found in contempt, fined 5 million naira and ordered to apologize, action she allegedly hasn't fulfilled.
Akpoti on Deta told journalists she plans to approach the appellate court for clarity. She described the suspension as illegitimate and claiming it undermines our right to represent our constituencies and violates constitutional provisions requiring lawmakers to attend a minimum number of sittings annually.
Very true. We still have Barrister Tunji Abdulhamid. Thank you so very much, Barrister, for hanging on.
Thank you for having me.
All right, Barrister, thank you so very much once more. Barrister, let's get talking on this particular matter. As much as lots of people would love to wave it aside, I think it's still very important that we talk about this, not from a place of affirmative action because she is a woman, but let's just look at it from history. We've never seen any serving senator, I would love to believe, from the First Republic to the Fourth Republic that we have now, that has been suspended as much as Natasha has seen herself. Don't you think this is clearly, stepping on the rule of law at this point? What's your take?
So I'm not too sure whether or not that your position is correct, because I remember Mr. Ali Ndume was suspended. Probably it was 3 months or 6 months.
Yes, he was. Yes, he went to court and was recalled back.
Hey, that's not that's a different thing. You are saying there is nobody that has been suspended in that manner.
No, I'm talking about for as long as 6 months. For as long as 6 months, that's what I mean.
And that's why I said I'm not too sure whether I'll be correct if I say you are not apt in your position, because I know Mr. Senator Ali Ndume was suspended, I think, for that 6 months or so.
Yes.
He was there after court shot because of the order of court.
And Ningi too. Ningi. And Senator Ningi.
Yes. So that shows that it has happened, but it was later cut short because of the order of court in that regard. So for me, the issue we have on ground now, the debate regarding what is happening regarding Natasha's suspension and regarding the court issue. I'm not talking about the fact of the case, what led to her suspension. I'm talking about the judgment already on ground now regarding whether she should return or not. I think I align with the Senate that there is nothing in that judgment that required Natasha to return to the House, or that mandated the Senate to recall her. I've read the judgment. It's a 12-paragraph judgment. With due respect, I think that judgment was not properly written. So
how do you mean? How do you mean, Barrister, that's not properly written?
Yes, because it's inchoate. It's inchoate to an extent. The judgment is inchoate. Inchoate in the sense that the proper order of court was not. There's no proper direct order apart from the order mandating Natasha to write apology to the court and pay 5 million naira for what's it called, for contempt. The other one, there is no just mere findings of court, and opinion and belief of court. And me as a lawyer, the findings and opinion of court or belief of court is not order that can be enforced. We're not talking, because I hear Senator Natasha referring to section 318 of the Constitution.
Yes.
Particularly the aspect that talks about the meaning of the decision. There is no dispute here, but probably you doesn't understand that a court has not made a decision. The court has made a decision, and judgment is part of what the court decision by that definition. The point here is that whether the decision has been made by the court can be enforced. That is the point on ground. The court has made its own decision. He has made his whether or not that judgment is enforceable as it is now. And like I said, it's inchoate. And because it's inchoate, it is not enforceable. If you look at that judgment, You have it. Go to paragraph 12. That is the last paragraph of that judgment. What did he say? He said the Senate has the power to discipline its member, and I believe that Senator that she should be recalled. She didn't say I hereby order that she should be recalled, or I hereby direct that Senator Natasha should return back to the House. She didn't say that. She just expressed her opinion or belief. So in other words, I can advise free to the Senate. So you can you have done wrong, and in that regard, I am of the view that you can. So if you are giving me an opinion or recommendation, it's for me to either take or not to take. So that's why I say it's inchoate, and that's why I say it was not properly written in a way that people can be that can be enforced. It was not written in a way that can be enforced. It's ambiguous. It's more or less like a declaration, a declaratory judgment that is neither here nor there, where you have to do another case for you to enforce it. So for me, look at that judgment very well. We should not allow sentiment. I'm not talking about whether or not she was properly sanctioned, or what she has done warranted that sanction, or whether or not the court did not admit that that the court also admit that said judgment or that 6 months was excessive. That's what we call findings. That's not order of court. That is the finding of the court based on the fact before the court. The court found that that particular period is excessive. The court also found that the suspension was not in line with the rules. So those are findings. That are not order. And the fact that the court says those things does not mean automatically the court will now. It's just like there's a case I did. The other case before they brought it to me, a judgment has been entered. They call it consent judgment. Consent judgment is a judgment whereby both parties agree to what we call terms of settlement. Okay. And that term of settlement was now filed in court. So unfortunately, when they wanted to enforce the terms of settlement, there was an issue, dispute on it. And it was being challenged by my clients. And before it came to me, I was told by them that they've gone to 3 SAA, who told them that this judgment cannot be enforced. And so this judgment, he has nothing to do again, that it's over. And I look at it and say, no, this judgment is inchoate. That even though the judgment say clearly in that time of settlement, it was clearly stated that you admit that you are owing so amount of money. And I said, look, there is nothing in that judgment that says you are directed to pay the money. So in view of that omission, that judgment cannot be enforced. And he said he has gone to 3 SAA and they said, no, that judgment can be enforced. That this is that. And I said, give me an opportunity, let's fight in court. We went to court and the court agreed with me. In fact, the court said it clearly that if he has his way, he will not go with me. But unfortunately, that is the law. He followed me and I said the judgment was not correct. The judgment was inchoate. That at best can be declaratory. So what I'm saying here is that what court has said regarding what the state has not done well, right? Those are findings. That to follow all those findings, the court must make a profound order or directives to either of the parties. So in this case, it's lacking. You can go and look at the CTC if you have not seen it before. I can forward it to you. The court did not go further to say, I hereby direct or I hereby order that what I believe that she should be recalled. Even the interpreted, what does that mean? Is that a command tone? That's not a command. That's advisory. So I align myself with the Senate, even though I also agree that a suspension was not properly was done with vendetta, or was done just to what's it called, to intimidate her. But we're not talking about that now. We're talking about whether or not that order of court empowers her to come to resume. She knows that she will not be allowed to enter. She just came to do a drama and to show the whole world that she will fight for her right to just sympathy. But she said it that the Senate will soon go on a recess, and by the time they will come back, her 2 months will be over. I was expecting that she will wait, since she knows that in a time they will go on recess and they will come back in 2 months. And by that 2 months, her tenure will have her suspension will have expired. At that time, she can now come and say, look, by expiration of time of suspension, she wants to resume. That would be a different thing. They're saying you are relying on that judgment of court. there is no order of court as I'm concerned. I align myself totally with the Senate position regarding that order. That order cannot be enforced. Let me admit that she wants to enforce that judgment. There are procedures to enforce judgments. A litigant who goes to court to obtain an order is not the person that will on his own or her own go to that place and go and enforce it. It's like me obtaining an order to reject a tenant. If the tenant refuses to go after the order has been granted, I'll go back to court to take the normal process for that judgment to be enforced. Not for you to on your own move there and say I want to enforce my judgment. And that's exactly what happened in Osun State. When those people, local government people, say they got judgment and they want to go and resume, and they decide on their own, they got the support of the police, unfortunately. So, and then they dispatch the one there, and then there will be chaos if you are out to do that.
Yeah.
In the court, say, look, I have a judgment, how do we enforce it? The Senate can also say they have a judgment based on their own interpretation. You are saying you have a judgment based on your own interpretation. You are saying you are coming to enforce. They are saying no, we also have our own judgment. You did not say so. And there's a clash. What will happen? So there are processes, there are procedures to enforce that. But because we are in Nigeria, it's just playing to the gallery. She's playing to the gallery in that regard. She's just enjoying herself and making herself happy.
Really?
And selling herself more to the public. And probably by 2027 she'll be contesting for governor of Kogi State. Who knows? But for me, it's unfortunate that we are in this circumstance, and we are there because the court has not done the right thing. It was not properly written. If I'm telling you, if a question is given to a law student, a judgment, and that judgment is written in that manner, and it's given to the same judge to mark it, I'm very sure that student will fail it. And for me, it did not pass. That judgment was not properly done. Probably based on the understanding of the judge, probably deliberately, probably other influence. I wouldn't know. But what I know, my own interpretation, my own opinion, is that there's no clear order in that judgment to ask to directing Natasha to resume, or directing the National Assembly or the Senate to recall her. They only gave an advisory order. The only one that's specific. If you look at it, you see the way that was in paragraph 2 or paragraph 3. Regarding a contempt proceeding process, you will see that clearly stated is the order to pay some amount of money. And I'm sure, I thank God, I'm happy that he's challenging that. Otherwise, that would be a plug on our political career. And because that, I also believe that judgment, that contempt order was wrongly given, because the procedures, as far as I'm concerned, were not followed.
Okay.
And that, thank God, it is involved. And that probably that is why she's not doing any apology, because some people are saying, why is she not obeying court directive, asking her to do apology, asking her to pay money? If she's appealing it, once she pay or send her apology, that means she has admitted.
Yes, very true.
That that judgment was correct. So people should just stop vilifying her, saying that she's disobeying court order. She's not disobeying court order. She has filed appeal, and we are also aware that they filed motion for stay of the execution of that judgment in that regard. So because if that judgment that could be against her whenever she wants to contest an election, that is an ex-conflict.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, Barita. So this brings me to this question. You know, how is our continued suspension affecting the representation and welfare of our constituencies?
I'm not sure our constituencies have been affected.
Really?
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Why would you say so? Because she is not amongst the senators. She's not seated there. No one is representing her.
Let me answer the question now.
Okay.
Are you there?
I still there, Barrister.
If they are actually affected, all this should not be going through it. It will be the members of the constituent that will be going through it. They will be the one to have blocked the National Assembly all this while. They will have gone to court and say, look, we are protecting, you are denying us our rights. I did not see majority of them there at the National Assembly yesterday. In fact, it should be a continuous protest by them to say, look, you have suspended our senator and we are not benefiting from it again. We are not happy. I'm not seeing those protests. They left it for her to fight. They see that it's a fight. She's after all, she's the senator. So she's representing them. I'm not saying that she's representing them, and they are actually suffering from her suspension. That's why I said I'm not sure they are feeling it. They are not feeling it as far as I'm concerned. In that regard, that's why I say so. I say so because they are not showing sign that they are feeling it.
Barrister, laws are made for man, not man for laws. Yeah. And the question is, knowing most of the people who are fighting this are lawyers who understand better, who are more learned, and know the implications to some of these things. Why is Senate President Godswill Akpabio very adamant on just resolving this amicably? I remember when he had the issue with Bukola Saraki in 2019, I would love to believe, or 2018 or 2017, when he had this same issue with Bukola Saraki about seat change and all that. He raised so much voice. I'm talking about Senate President Godswill Akpabio. Then he was representing his community and his constituency. Bukola Saraki was able to handle it maturely. He would have gone the same way Senate President Godswill Akpabio is doing to Natasha, but he did not. So the question is, what has happened to our empathy as politicians in this country?
Unfortunately, that is a difference between leaders and rulers. Well, the way and manner it was handled by Dr. Bukola Saraki shows that he's a good leader. And the way and manner it was handled by Mr. Akpabio shows that he's a ruler. Even though, the way and manner it was handled by Dr. Saraki forced Senator Akpabio at that time to even apologize.
Yes, very true. Yes. So
probably if he has handled it the same way, probably Senator Natasha would apologize.
Very true.
But because of the way Amana he handled it, he didn't do so. So for me, but notwithstanding that he didn't do it. You see, the issue we have here, why this issue is not being resolved, it has become personal. It's no longer an institutional thing. It's not about the country. It's not about the National Assembly as an institution. It's about individual. Have you forgotten that there's an allegation against the President of the Senate? Allegation of sexual harassment. So because of that allegation, he has been taken as a personal war, and he's using all this power to fight it, including being a Senate president. As a Senate president, he's a leader, and if whatever he wants to do, other members, if they want to enjoy the house, they must also be subservient to him, and that's what we see in our country today. They worship everybody in leadership, so as to go to get benefits for themselves. So as far as I'm concerned, if they are not able to resolve it amicably or use their spirit as a lawyer, because I know the majority leader is also a lawyer. There are about 3 or 4 leaders in that house are lawyers. So they are not able to resolve it in that manner because it's becoming a personal issue. If you can see me now, some people will say we don't even know where this man stands because I'm not taking side. I'm looking at the issue the way it should be looked at into, not taking side. I've given a state my own effort. I've given Natasha. That is the way it should be. But when you are taking side, you'll be one-sided. So you won't be able to even see the other side of it. And that's what I'm seeing today. It's been one way, and it's been this manner because it's about ego and protection of personal interest.
Okay, that's a very good one from you, Barrister Tunji. Well, taking side is not even the best. Being objective is you being just truthful about the whole situation. All right, so let me just ask.
Yes, no, you can go ahead.
So what legal steps is Senator Natasha taking to challenge the Senate decision, and what are the possible outcomes of her appeal?
She has taken the right legal steps. She's already in, and they are still in court. And but I'm very sure that even that the appeal, she has appealed again at affected her, and I'm so aware that it, and I'm also the one that goes against them. I'm just concerned, probably whether or not I'm concerned whether the child will be allowed to even come back after the 6 months. They got the matter is court. and when the matter to wait for the outcome of the court,
okay, are you still there, sir?
Well, I think we're having a bit of a glitch there. It's Barrister Tunji talking about what it looks like could be the after effects of what Natasha is going through right now. Kende, you asked a very important question there, you know, on what could be the outcome of all of this. And it's very so important that that we look at this. You know, there are lots of things people don't talk about here. And that's the fact that, of course, let's not maybe, you know, make it a gender-based thing. You know, there are just 4 of them amongst 109 senators. 4 women, right? And rather than the men there, you know, protect them. You know, there are lots of things that I would love to believe lots of them have wives in their homes. Yes, and we all know how you women, you know what you guys do.
You're going there.
Yeah, of course I'm going there. You know, because it's always, you know. So we all know how you guys sometimes, you know, behave. You know, not that it's bad, but sometimes you guys have a way of your thought process and all, which is different from ours.
Yes.
Yes. You know, right. So because you might look to your colleague in a kind of way, and she might see it like a sexual harassment. And for you, it is not sexual harassment. You're just, you know, admiring her and making her feel good. Barrister, are you there? Hello, Barrister.
I'm with you.
Okay.
Unfortunately, that aspect you are doing. Unfortunately, that admiration in some countries, even where take law seriously, could be a.
Okay, I think we lost the Barrister again. You know, we're having a little bit of a glitch there. So Barrister was actually, you know, talking about what I said.
Exactly.
You know, like in Nigeria, he was talking about the admiration thing. You know, you can admire a woman.
Yes.
And rather than see that as a compliment, oh, thank you so very much for admiring me. You can see I'm looking good and all that. In her mind, you know, she begins to make that up to look like sexual harassment.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So, Senator Godfrey Lamabi is a very playful person.
Very, very.
He might look at you and say, hey, you look like my ex. And before you know what happens, the person is seeing it like sexual harassment. Barrister, are you there? I think we're having a little bit of a glitch there. You know, so but what do you think about what's
well, okay, I'm going to take the I'm not taking sides. Let me just talk like Barrister Tunji.
Yes.
I'm not taking sides, but I understand how I probably was like, okay, this is it. I you know, in sense of admiring her and all
yes,
of that. But
because Natasha is beautiful.
She is actually.
She is beautiful. Barrister, are you back? Are you there?
I'm with you.
Okay, yes, network has been a little bit bad. So let's just conclude before we round up.
Well, what I've just said, I've said that look, the issue we are having on ground has to do with the issue of the judgment not properly couched or written, and I think Mrs. Natasha should also cite some patience so that it's a good. Case will not become bad by way of when she starts to put it in a way that people will see her as your own is too much. You know, Nigeria, we would say things.
Yes.
And she has a good case, but her own is too much. Just calm down. So I think she should relax, wait for her 6 months to expire, and then come back, because it's very clear that the Senate is not ready to recall her, and they may not, and I would not be surprised even after the expiration of the 6 months, they decide to say, look, we are still waiting for the determination of the case in court, and therefore you have to wait until that case is decided. So I think, like I said earlier, it's not about our interest, it's not about the national interest, it's about personal ego, and it's about personal vendetta against a particular person. And for me, I did not see that people who talk about she is because she's a woman. No, Senator Idume was not a woman. Senator Ngige is a man.
We lost Barrister again. Yes. So, Barrister, okay. Hello, Barrister.
And they were all at the point suspended. So people want to put it and say because it's a woman, that's why they are treating her in that manner. No. Senator Ningi was suspended recently. Senator Alindume, Senator Omadigi, and some other people have been present with that suspension. So for me, let's see that the way it is. Let's not put what's it called, feminist or sentiment into it. The National Assembly did not do well. I must say that the way Amala was handled by the Senate President make it look the way it looked. So it's been in that manner. So I expect them to let the senator calm down and accept. There are people who are not fighting for her. That's my worry. They're not fighting. I expect them to be in the forefront. She should even be in their house sleeping or sitting or watching them doing what she's doing now. They should be the one to be in the forefront and say, look, we are asking that our senators should be returned. They were sitting down waiting for and seeing that it's our thing. And that's how when most of them get into that National Assembly or anyway, they see that it's my wallet. But some people will tell you when the governor of River State was suspended, some people said, why are they crying more than the brief? As if that seat, people of the state don't have the right to talk about the seat.
Well, Barrister, don't Barrister on the case of Fubara, Barrister.
What did you say?
Yes, on the case of Fubara, remember he said people should not cry for him. That he's the one wearing the shoes and he knows where he pinches. So therefore, people should not. He hasn't sent anyone to cry for him. So when we see such statement from leaders, we should be fighting for. What do you expect us to do?
We have to sit back.
You are not fighting for the leader. That's what I'm saying. If you are fighting in that regard, what happened in River State, you are fighting what happened in Kogi State as member of constituent of Natasha. You are not fighting for Natasha. You are fighting for yourself. You are fighting for the state. You are fighting for your constituents. But unfortunately, the governor too does not understand it. He sees it as his personal thing. If being a governor, you are not there on your own. You are representing people, so you cannot see it as your personal thing. You can't say you don't care. It's your thing. They should leave you. No, they can't leave you because they are being affected by what is happening to you or by what has happened to you. So unfortunately, most of our leaders see it in this manner. Most of the followers also see it as their thing. If they are the one, they see our leaders when they are in position of authority as being there for themselves. Because that's the way. That's the meaning of what you said. That look, leave me. I'm not complaining. You need not complain. But me as a member of your state, I can complain. I'm not crying more than the belief. I'm fighting for my rights, for the rights of my state, of my people. So if the governor is not there by his own chance or by his own power, he was put in place in popular, what they say, the popular mandate, in quotes. So having been given that in quote mandate, you must represent them. And if you're not doing, if there's something is happening that will not allow to represent them, they have the right to speak and say whatever they want to say about it. You cannot say, don't stop, shut up, I'm not complaining. No, it's not your thing. You are not the owner of it. So that is the mistake we are making. And that's why I say I'm disappointed in the people and members of the constituent of Senator Natasha. They are not fighting for her. They are just doing jamboree. As she come to town, they come and celebrate her, dance and sing. They are not going to. They should be at the National Assembly door now, sitting daily to say we are fighting our senator. That our senator we have been deprived of our rights. But they didn't see it as such. They see it as our wahala, that she should go and face it. And that's why people will say, what's your own wahala? And that's why we say, you better apologize. You will just suffer for nothing. That's why you see some leaders who just give up and say, people I'm even fighting for, they're not even concerned. So as far as I'm concerned, it's unfortunate that in our country, most of these things are not known to us. We pretend, most of the people that even our educators also sometimes take a wrong position. in terms of seeing those in government as a personal life or personal thing. No, it's not a personal thing. It's not a personal thing, and I don't agree with that.
Thank you so very much, Barrister. No matter where this particular position swings to, this will most definitely go down in our record books. It will go down for people coming after us to read and to digest it. I do not know if anything like this will be as similar as Barrister. Remember the days the Chuba or Kadibu took the maize from the National Assembly. I do not know if this is very similar to that era, and it is right now in our history books, and I still believe this will equally go down on our history books right now, and people will read it on the pages inside of the book. People will read it, and I truly hope that everyone concerned would learn one or two from this. Thank you so very much, Barrister.
Thank you, sir.
Henry, don't forget that makes Henry, don't forget that makes Stephen.
Yes.
Is what gave Mr. Omar Agege the deputy Senate president position. So sometimes in Nigeria we encourage what look like humility. It's unfortunate. Unfortunate.
Very true, Barrister. Thank you so very much for your time. We truly do appreciate you. Kehinde, thank you as always.
Thank you too.
For being a great co-host with me. All right, people, that's just about the time we have. We'd love to say thank you to you. Please do well to visit us. If you may, you can always find us at enterprisetvnews.com. You may equally like, comment, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV7. I am Henry Igwebike.
And I am Kehinde Bodo.
Thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.